What is unlucky? In order to answer this question, we must return to its origins, to my origins. 1985, over in Austin, Texas, there's a storm brewing up. It stewed and stewed all the way until the 86th year of the 1900s was ushered in, and just one day was allowed to pass before out comes an enigma. Born on a military base in Texas and raised a DSGB, I drew inspiration from those around me. Thus began the cultivation process of the creative bud in me that had been growing from my birth. Music, acting, writing, just a few of the outlets I found for my creative circuit to connect and flow through. Before long, it was clear I was not going to be understood, but rather admired. I would see praises, reprimands, criticism, some constructive, some but I would be destined to be questioned for many years of my life. Why don't you just go back to school? Why didn't you just do right in the first place when you was there? When you gonna stop hanging around them thugs you be with? You was so smart. What happened? What happened? What happened? What happened? Well, in a nutshell, sex, drugs, and hip hop. My creativity has taken me places and introduced me to people that I feel blessed to have seen and known. Led me to convos that have changed, molded, grown, and blown my mind. All of this is imperative to know if we are going to truly lead today with a full understanding of the answer to our initial question. What is unlucky? Well, as I continue to water and nurture my creativity, it started to take up more space in my life than my parents were expecting. School was always easy for me, but once I started creating regularly, schoolwork took a back seat. Grades suffered greatly, especially during high school, but I did earn an acceptance letter from a college. With so many bad habits built up though, it was short-lived, and before I knew it, I was back in the same chair, at the same desk, in the same room, but creating new stuff. Then an opportunity came for change that also worked as the miracle grow to my creativity. See, although most times I would be alone, I had always loved and probably deep down craved the feeling that being on a team gave me. I had played baseball a few years as a little guy, and once I hit middle school, I hopped in some shoulder pads and gave it a try as well. I wasn't anywhere close to a world-class athlete in those days, but I was coachable and learned quickly. So I wasn't the kid that was getting accolades in athletics, but I never had a teammate I didn't rock with. Being on the team is what changed my trajectory creatively because I wanted to win for them. So I moved from Georgia to Florida and got with my brothers and certified. We made a project, pressed it up, sold a few hundred copies of it, won a contest or two, and dropped a couple pick videos on YouTube. But the dreams I had for us never really came to fruition. Without that time though, I don't know that my drive is the same that it is now. And that's a good place to start to address our question. What is unlucky? After Certified was placed on hiatus, it was hard to create anything. The feeling was just kind of gone. And that's when the idea hit me to make a name change. I thought about it for a good while and landed on who you all know me as today, Un-Dre. I spelled it that way because I wanted to signify that I was moving so differently from the way that I used to that I'm un-me. Hence, Un-Dre was born and the fire erupted again. I wrote songs, made plans to drop projects, gathered features and collaborations. I got a logo made for me to my specifications and proceeded to take it and design a t-shirt and hoodie line with it. Naming this clothing line was an important part, but I don't even think it took me long. Unlucky. The first person I told was my wife. who of course promptly asked me, well, what does it mean? Why did you spell it like that? And I answered, if I'm able to make it where I want to be in my life, if I'm able to reach my goals, then I will truly be unlucky. Simply because it will be by the sweat of my brow, the dirt on my hands, and the blood I shed. No one will be able to say that I looked into it. After I was done, she looked at me smiling for a second or two and said, that's how you gotta say it every time somebody asks you, babe. Every time. So, with that being said, are you unlucky? I know I am. And if the Clay County Storms are gonna get to where our leader is dreaming it's going, then it's for damn sure gonna be unlucky too. Thank y'all again for y'all time. Go Storms. Let's win!